I'm joined now with Simon Mellor. He is the Senior Vice President with DMG Events and indeed responsible for Adipec 2012, 13 and beyond. Simon, a tremendous show. I mean, it's been so busy here. You promised it to be bigger, better and busier, and indeed it certainly is.
Yeah, it's been a very, very successful start. Numbers are up. We've got very, very good attendance. Quality is very, very strong. We've had some wonderful attendance from ministers right across the region. Saudi, Iraq and several others that I could mention have been here, which we're delighted to have. That's a genuine growth in the influence and scale and catchment of the event. Been very, very good.
Now, you've been working on this event for many years, and indeed it's a huge event to put on. I mean, yesterday alone, I mean, there must have been more than 10,000 people walking around here. It has been, it's absolutely huge. But what goes into putting an event like this together?
Well, we played with some numbers recently, just the 5 days of building this show. There's over 38,500 square meters here. There are 1,600 companies from around the world, 55 countries from around the world. We estimated that in the 5 days that it takes us to bring this show in, it's consumed 292,000 man-hours of work just in the 5 days of bringing this in.
And now that it's up and running, I mean, it's been a tremendous successful show. You're bringing this on an annual basis now. How important is that? And why have you made that decision?
I think in terms of the value of this event to Abu Dhabi, I'd probably couch that into two completely separate areas. One is its influence. This is now unquestionably the largest oil and gas event in the Middle East. Its influence is very, very broad. It spans throughout the entire GCC, and that's referenced by the attendance of senior executives and ministers from right across that region. It is 8 or 9 times larger as a trade exhibition than anything else in the region, and indeed it's the second biggest show outside of the North American continent. So this is a mega event. It's a monster event now. It's gained that size and that momentum, and it's done that very quickly, really in the last 4 or 5 years. I think in terms of its value, and I often get asked that question, we would look in terms of business tourism, the number of executives and people flying into the city, the occupancy of the hotels, transportation, catering, F&B, the employment of temporary staff, of graphic designers, of carpenters, everybody involved in this. It's in excess of $50 million over the 10 days that we're here in the city. It's a significant financial impact into the community.
And of course, it's not just the exhibition here. You have a tremendous conference going on. You have technical sessions. You have some of the leading experts around the world here. And I believe now there's huge competition to actually get to speak and be part of the conference and the technical shows.
Yeah, the conference has been one of the most exciting elements this year. We've had a real job, and those responsible for the conference have had to work very hard to take the demand that exists to put it into a program, and to put that program in context. 50 technical sessions running over 4 days, that's 200 technical presentations, that's 8,640 minutes of knowledge transfer over the 4 days. It is by far and away the largest conference program in this region, and I think actually we're now challenging for one of the biggest oil and gas conferences worldwide. This is very, very big.
So once you pack up here, it's just back to the office and ready for 2012. You have a date in mind and you've got everything ready to go for 2013 rather.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest news this week, is that this has always been a show that took place once every 2 years. The sheer demand and size and scale and speed of growth. The government has taken a decision to annualise this event, so 2013 will be our next project. We're already planning that. We've been in planning now for 6 months. Again, it will be a conference that will look at gas. Gas is developing across this region very quickly. A cleaner energy, a more environmentally responsible energy. And a need to fill what is a short gap in energy supply as this region grows very, very dramatically in the next 10 years. So yeah, the work started. The date for 2013 is the 10th to the 13th of November, so please pop that in your diaries.